Good evening, everybody. Now, I'm just a simple man and the current NoDQ NX Team Champion, and my name is Noah Foster, and welcome once again to another installment of 205 Live Matters. Tonight we'll be discussing, of course, this week's episode, but also the championship match held at Money in the Bank, and how I'm glad it was on the main card. But before we get all of that, allow me, of course, to introduce you to my guest. He is pretty much my honorary co-host, cohort. I'm not even the host. We're just partners in this because we both believe it matters. He is the holiday. He is the family man, Mr. Christopher Mace. Chris, how are you?
Doing good. Doing good tonight. Ready to talk about 205 Live in this main event, definitely.
Oh, yeah, let's have some fun. So before I get into this week's episode, let's talk about this past Sunday. So the Cruiserweight title was on the line at Money in the Bank on the main card. I have to believe that was a Triple H decision since Triple H seemed to have been running the direction of that night, at least for the most part. But we won't get into that. We'll leave that to the elite, so-called elite, about But anyway, I thought that they had a nice little title bout. I sure it felt slow because they didn't give, the familiar WWE Universe a reason to believe in either of these people or know who they are because they don't showcase, broadcast, or promote it on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live. The most promotion this match got, of course, was on 205 Live. But I thought it was a nice touch to add to the whole idea of how this match is about money and the worth, of course, to Ariya Daivari's perspective, when Ariya Daivari came out in that freaking Mercedes-Benz. But enough about that. Let me just ask you this. What were your thoughts on this past Sunday's Cruiserweight title match?
It was good for the time they gave him. I don't think they gave him a lot of time to do too much. Like I said, I thought it was creative how they gave Daivari a special entrance, making everybody believe he ain't worried about anything. He just wants that title for that money. Like I said, This is old school mentality here. I could see Triple H playing in this one just because of the fact that that's what they did. These people back in the day wanted the title because they wanted more money. That's what it was about. That title equals more money, more appearances, more opportunities for them as a champion. I like the old school mentality of that. The match, like I said, it was good. It was a good match, but it was just way too short, and that's just because it's main roster, and it seemed like people didn't really care too much till it got closer to the end. Now It's kind of a shame because these two guys are very talented.
Yes, I completely agree. But again, it's the way Vince McMahon has wired the WWE Universe with the fact he can't create new superstars. The only superstar that seems to matter is Roman Reigns. And when it comes to selling, all you need to know is Roman Reigns in the ring. He pulls a spear, he wins. Whoop-de-doo. I'll get into more about that later. I got a little rant on selling, especially towards you, Virtue. But anyway, yeah, I thought this match was okay. But the problem is, like you said, it's main roster. They're not going to give them the time they deserve. If this was on 205 Live, I could have seen this going at least another 5-7 minutes, and it really would have gotten more hyped up. But I took a few notes, and I thought it was okay. I mean, this match was really centered around mind games and counter exchanges. I mean, you had like an open exchange in the beginning. You had short frills by Tony Nese, and then Ariya Daivari gained advantage with vicious heel mentality of raking Tony Nese's face across the top rope. I don't normally typically see that in a match, so that was a nice little touch. And then he basically slowed down the momentum of Tony Nese, who's the fast, agile flyer / premier athlete, he likes to call himself, by wrapping him up in a Boston Crab. And then there was a roll through. I thought that was a little messy, but then nice spinning heel kicks, though, into a springboard moonsault into an attempted cover. And then there was a full Nelson plant into a cover. And they were also putting over on commentary how Nese believes he's the champion of the hardest working roster in WWE, and I believe that's true to their credit because they do work their hardest. There's only one title on that brand. It's what everybody goes for. Nothing is given. Everything is earned. Gee, I wonder where that needs to be freaking applied to. But, yeah, there was fly through. He went for his pump handle driver attempt. Tony Nese, nope, couldn't get. Then there was what I like to call the cross-arm toss, where Tony Nese is on the top rope. Ariya Daivari grabs his arms, crosses them, and just literally yanks him down to the floor, almost like a power slam kind of. I thought that's a very interesting move. And then we get Tony Nese with his greatest hits, the cartwheel off the apron onto the floor into a nice forearm strike. And then he goes over the top rope, and this is when the crowd really picked up. It was like, oh, wow, look at this. He went over the top rope, crossbody flop, and then he wowed the crowd with a beautiful, actually hit it, 450 splash into a nice near fall. Still not enough. And then we get our running Nese attempt, keyword attempt, but he runs to an insane super kick. Ariya Daivari must be freaking watching Shawn Michaels tapes. Damn. Yep. And then we get his big splash. They call it the Persian Lion. And then he falls up. into a finisher combination off of that into his hammerlock lariat, which I guess they literally just call it. Don't have like a particular name. In our nearest near fall of the match, probably the loudest pop of the night during that match for the crowd. And then following this, though, Ardenbar's like shocked, and then Tony Nese, he gets up with his open pop-up palm strike, and then a nice hurricanrana, and then Ardenbar sets himself up, it seems, unaware, in the corner, leaning to Ray knee strike. Tony Nese wins 1-2-3. For the time it got, I thought it was a nice little showcase of what both men were capable of. They pulled out their greatest hits. They did get the crowd behind it eventually. I appreciate the fact it was on the main card in front of a full audience, despite some people being disinterested, going to do something, or didn't even know what was going on. And I enjoyed it, but I hope there's more to come between these two later on. And that's all I got to say about that. Simple as that. So with that, why don't we get into this week's episode? So this was episode number 130, emanating from Providence, Rhode Island. And we first, of course, get our recap in a very nice video package. Seems to be the greatest strength in WWE. For Money in the Bank, folks, this is a Mountain Dew. This is not a beer. Anyway, I'm just saying, you'd be surprised to make people feel like, oh, great beer. Nope, I'm straight edge. Anyway, CM Punk. I love the fact, going off topic, F you, Shane. I love the fact that the freaking real wrestling fans chanted CM Punk and AEW during that crapshoot of a match. But I'll talk more about that later. Ha! Anyway. Oh, and shout out, congratulations, Aaron Brocom, becoming the new NoDQ and Team NoDQ Predictions Champion. Congratulations.
Yep, congratulations.
Anyway, so we get into the show, and Drake Maverick did not introduce us into the show at the video package. We went straight into the show, but we learned via social media he did set up tonight's special main event, a fatal five-way. But before that, we opened with tag team cruiserweight action. As expected, we were supposed to get the Singh brothers versus Lucha House Party, and they basically mocked the Lucha House Party, introducing us to it's Bollywood time. Still don't understand Bollywood. But basically, they brought up the fact that it's not Lucha time because the Lucha Bros, they got destroyed by Lars Sullivan at both Money in the Bank and Monday Night Raw. You figure they would learn their lesson from Sunday night. We'll get more into that stance later. And then following this, they're like, we're not going to disappoint you or the 1.3 billion fans we have back at home. We will take the honorable win here. So ref started count out. And then who comes out? Drake Maverick. And basically he says that I am not going to deny the WWE Universe Cruiserweight Tag Team action. So who do we get? How fitting. Jack Gallagher and Humberto Carrillo, who have found newfound respect against each other in our previous bout back in the UK special, where 205 Live faced off against NXT UK. And they start with a handshake, and we get a nice little match. So before I go on the notes about my thoughts, what were your thoughts on this opening match?
Okay, I like the fact that they put the gentleman and Humberto together for this match. I thought they had, for them working the match, I thought they had great chemistry. They looked like they had been working together for years, just the chemistry they had. And I thought this was the best Singh Brothers performance I've seen ever out of them two, in either the main roster or 205 Live. I think it's the best performance they had. They actually got to showcase what they could actually do, because they are wrestlers. They actually got to showcase what they are able to do, and I thought that was really fitting. The match itself, I'm glad the gentleman and keep wanting to call him Alberto. I'm never going to keep trying my best. For some reason, it just rhymes with Alberto. That's why.
I know.
But like I said, the right ones won the match, and this made me really intrigued. After I watched this match, I was thinking, 205 Live is after SmackDown. SmackDown doesn't have a very good tag team division right now. Why not, if we're not going to make Cruiserweight tag titles, why don't we have teams from 205 Live challenge for the SmackDown tag titles? That might be an interesting concept, that big more exposure to the main roster.
Well, again, I keep saying that the Cruiserweight division should be more incorporated in SmackDown Live, the wrestling-based show, versus Raw, the character-based show, as pointed out by one of my friends from the recent live stream that I did. I completely agree. But only time will tell. We can only hope for more. But it looks like they are definitely trying to put in more of a focus of tag team action while developing more superstars. And yeah, I thought this was a fun little opener. We get a nice little exchange, nice kick to the face. And there was basically a paradise lock, kind of. And then Jack Gallagher just sits down with him and has a nice little conversation with Humberto Carrillo. And following this, we get a vicious double stomp. And then following this, we get a tag, and Alberto Carrillo, Jack Gallagher, like you said, demonstrating tag team chemistry with an assisted springboard deep arm drag to one of the Singh brothers off his partners. That was very innovative, into a cover. And then the Singh brothers, they take advantage, they'll fall in this, and then a little ways forward, you get a bit of a rest period with a side headlock, and then just show buddy, and then Alberto catches one of them with a quick roll up, and then he goes for the tag. Nope, but we then get an Irish whip. Sternum first to one of the Singhs into the turnbuckles. Ouch. That led to the hot tag. And then we got some hard rights. Jack Gallagher, of course, being the striker, of course, that technical player on the team versus Alberto Carrillo, who is the high flyer, fittingly and rightfully so. Following this, we get standing delayed vertical suplex, I think for like 30 seconds, drops him into a cover. And then we get a single leg Boston Crab, but no, Singh brothers, they get a double super kick. A little low, though, not really to the chin of Jack Gallagher, more like I think his shoulder or lower arm. And then following that, we get cover, but it's broken up by Humberto Carrillo. Here I thought it was over. Nope. Following this, we get a reverse roll up again into a cover, and then we get some cheap shots into a cover. Still not enough. Nice spinning heel kick, though, by the Singh brothers. I like how the Singh brothers, like you said, they really demonstrate how they were wrestlers. Move after move after move. They were capitalizing on after each near fall, trying to get that win. Really demonstrating their tag team chemistry and in-ring prowess. Following this, we get a double suplex attempt, but nope. He lands on his feet. There's a counter, tag, Mancunian headbutt, and then the Aztec press that Alberto Carrillo does, where it's like springing up the top rope on one side, then on the other corner, and then just lands face, plants on one of the Singh brothers, cover, 1, 2, 3, they win, and then a mutual handshake. I'm pretty sure this is going to lead to more tag team bouts with Humberto Carrillo and Jack Gallagher going forward, all to find a mutual respect, and hopefully one day we will see tag team titles or some sort of tag team title development within 205 Live, because I would love to see any of these. I would love to see Humberto Carrillo and Jack Gallagher face even Daniel Bryan and Rowan on SmackDown Live. But again, I'm just saying, with SmackDown Live trying to become more of a sports focus-based show, there you go. Come on, Fox, consider it. It's going to be interesting to see how Fox handles 205 Live as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So I thought it was a good opener. So following that, we go to a little promo where we have Mike and Maria Kanellis. I have so much respect for these two. Basically, Mike saying tonight, it's all about showcasing who's the greatest. I want to get to showcase who's the greatest. Are you kidding me? And then he brings up the insane no DQ match they had 2 weeks ago with Akira Tozawa. But Drake Maury, you want to showcase? I'm not doing that tonight. Tonight, it's all about me watching the destruction of a friendship between D. Brian Kennedy and Akira Tozawa, who we saw beforehand, mutually shake hands as well, and then Akira with his smile. And basically from there, he's like, Maria takes over and says that tonight is about my husband proving that he is better than the best. And then after tonight, Drake can't deny you anymore. Then following this, we go into Only Lorcan promo. Literally the exact same look, exact same stance, exact same locker room as his previous promo. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. But basically he says tonight's about proving once again who is the best and why I belong here. He knows he's going up against former champs and future greats. But he never walks away from a fight, and this is the kind of fight that he likes. So what were your thoughts on both of these promos?
Well, you already pointed out what I was going to say. Is look like the exact same locker room that Lorcan's been in before. Okay, you're in different cities. Let's make it look a little different because, it's obviously you're making it look like you just pretty much set up the exact same setup you had from past episodes. Let's make it look a little bit different. Like I said, let's just do something. That's just one being nitpicky, I guess.
Yeah, you're
but like I said, I thought they were both good promos. It made you more hyped up for the match. It was kind of interesting. You weren't going to be sure how Tozawa and Kendrick were going to be during the match. But we'll get into that main event and talk about that here in a minute. So you didn't know there's going to be a point somewhere they were going to have to do something. Somebody's going to have to break up a pin. Were they going to work together? Were they going to try to beat everybody down and work well together? You just didn't know what was going to happen with that dynamic. Like I said, Mike Kanellis, he's going to be Cruiserweight champion one day so easily. So is Lorcan at some point. But when, we're not sure yet. Right now, Tony's the champion. So we're just going to go 1 week at a time and see how they build it up.
And again, the Cruiserweight title match is an opportunity you earned. It is not given.
Yep.
That's everything what I appreciate about this brand. Speaking of this brand, before we get into the match, we get another cryptic Instagram post from my favorite, and the guy that I really wishes was Cruiserweight champion for a better 205 Live, Drew Gulak. A very interesting post this time. He says, there is no terror in the bang, only in the anticipation of it. And then it looks like a black and white scene where people sitting on lawn chairs with complete blackout visors on their faces as if they're about to watch a nuclear bomb go off.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this message from Drew Gulak? This is the second week in a row now he's sent out this cryptic idea. What's going on here?
I'm actually liking this. I think it's different for his character. Like I said, I believe he's at this crossroads. You know, his way he's been doing things isn't working for him as of late. He was losing. Like I said, he had disagreements with the gentleman and how, like, the teacher-student dynamic. He was having disagreements about that, so he doesn't have that rolling on right now.
Right.
So he's at a crossroads in his career. So he's torn. What he wants to do is his ways that he believes he's doing it working, or does he need to try a new, darker approach? And I'm actually liking these posts he's doing. He's leaving it a mystery right now. He's building that anticipation for when he comes back to 205 Live. What is he going to do? Is he going to be more sinister? Is he going to come back as this darker persona? Is he going to wrestle more aggressive style? Is he going to take more chances and do more high-flying stuff? You just don't know with him. He's leaving it a mystery, and that's what I like about it. I like a good mystery to see what exactly is going to happen. It builds up that suspense of when he does come back to 205 Live, what is he going to do first? Who is he going to go after? You just don't know. There's no clear-cut answer yet, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, and we have no idea when either. We know that the last time we saw him, though, was in NXT, which sounds like he's setting up something against Kushida. I have to imagine it's going to be a one-on-one match with him, and maybe that will be where he redefines himself. Maybe he's trying to redefine himself now in NXT. Maybe it's like, okay, I've done everything I can with 205 Live for the moment. Maybe I need to take my message to NXT, or maybe I need to redefine myself in NXT, then bring that back to 205 Live. I agree with you. There's so much anticipation, as I said here. And, of course, his pic being like a snake or something like that. I don't know if that really means anything on his Instagram. But, yeah, it really has me curious, as if, like, I am the fear that you all need to be both aware of and cautious of. Get ready, because I'm going to come back when you least expect it, and it's not going to be something that you foresee coming or predict. So, yeah, and again, Drew Gulak, I feel like, is like one of the founding fathers, still going day of 205 Live. Future Cruiserweight champion, no doubt. Bigger things for him. I can't wait to see where it goes from here. All right, so following this, we go straight into the Fatal 5-Way match. All 5 men come out, and then we get a short interview, though, before the last person comes out from Ariya Daivari. He basically says how Sunday was just a fluke. And if Tony Nese thinks that I'm his rearview mirror, no, I'm not done with him yet. And tonight, I'm going to prove why I should be Cruiserweight champion and should just automatically face him again. I don't know why I have to go through this Fatal 5-Way. So, before I get into this match, jeez, Chris, your thoughts, your takeaways, your moments, your predicted winner, and your overall assessment of this Fatal 5-Way dance.
Well, first off, I like the fact that they interviewed Daivari first. Like, he's complaining, oh, it's a fluke, he won. Okay, well, you got to remember, 205 Live, you have to earn every opportunity. Ain't nothing going to be handed to you. Yeah, right. You had a good showing. You lost the match. You got to go back and you got to earn another title shot. You're just not going to get handed. Drake Maverick is not just going to hand you a title match. That's the one thing I like about him as general manager. He's not going to just hand you something. He's going to want you to work for it and earn it and show him why you deserve a title match, why you deserve something in 205 Live. That's right. What makes him a great general manager compared to others I've seen in the past on different shows. And then, so pretty much, here's my critique on this before even the match starts. All right, great. You want to advertise Stomping Ground? That's great. I didn't need to see you advertise twice between entrances for 2 different people. I didn't need to see it. Thank you. I know Stomping Ground's coming up. That's kind of aggravating. That was kind of aggravating to me. It's like you're getting into the ready for the match. Oh, Stomping Ground. Okay, good. You advertise it. Great. Next, Lorcan comes out. No, Stomping Ground. Okay, thank you. We already knew it was coming up. You don't have to remind us 5 seconds later. Thank you. We're good. We got it the first time. That was a critique I didn't like about that.
I agree.
Now, getting into the match, damn, that was a damn good Fatal 5-Way. It's probably one of the best Fatal 5-Ways I've seen. I've seen other Fatal 5-Ways just been butchered or just such a clusterfuck. I think they did this very well. They did great storytelling in the match. I thought I wanted Tozawa to win. Like I said, I'll admit I like Tozawa. I said I like Drew Gulak as the heel, as the baby faces. I like Tozawa. Always have. So for him to actually win could surprise the shit out of me, because normally every time I pick somebody, they don't win. That's why I don't win predictions. So, so, so other than that, so for him to win and the way he won with like all the chaos going on, getting that roll up kind of pin for a 1, 2, 3 over Davari of all people, I was really pleasantly surprised, because I was just afraid that we were going to get Davari versus Tony Nese at Blood Money 3, and then all that other conspiracy theory we were coming up with last week when Cindy was on the show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I got to admit, the finish really caught me off, but let's see what I can do going through this match. Ah, jeez. Okay, so we start with all 5 men in the ring, and it gets off fast and furious with Mike immediately going out, playing mind games, saying like, oh, you all go on, do your thing. So we're down to 4 men, which eventually leads to the Friends, Kendrick and Tozawa, taking out Arya Davari and Oney Lorcan. Oh, by the way, Oney Lorcan, hometown boy, basically. It was close to his hometown or in his hometown. I'm not sure if he's from Providence, Rhode Island. I don't think he is. But anyway, following this, the 2 men, it looks like they're about to mix it up on mutual respect. Akira Tozawa and Ibrahim Kendrick. Nope, here comes Mike and Arya. They take advantage. They have former temporary lives, and they take those 2 out. But then, after a while, Arya, he takes advantage once again, all by himself. And then Oni, he comes into play, but nope, Arya, he sees it coming, stays on them, shows his in-ring awareness, and just literally controls the ring. Takes out Oney Lorcan, throws him into the barricade, and then Akira Tozawa, he comes back into play, and it's him and Arya mixing that up. But then, of course, I get one of my favorite spots. Akira, big out jab, drops freaking Arya. And following this, he goes into what looks like maybe his top rope senton. He attempted that like multiple times in this match. Nope. Then Oni runs into play after Arya takes advantage of Akira trying to go for this top rope senton bomb. I can't believe I haven't screwed up those names yet. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Oni runs into a super kick from Arya Davari. Again, Arya Davari delivers one hell of a super kick. Damn.
Yes.
Upon that, we get what I talked about earlier. We get that cross-arm slam attempt. He basically slams Akira Tozawa, who's hung up on the top rope, on top of Oney Lorcan, and then covers Oni. First fall of the match, nothing special. Following this, he goes for his finisher, Arya does, the hammerlock lariat. But nope, that's rolled through, and then we get a cover by the Brian Kendrick, because the Brian Kendrick comes into play. Nope, kick out, but the Brian Kendrick being basically the most unpredictable, wily veteran of the match, and the original 205 Live, he inverts it into a captain's hook on Arya Davari. But nope, Oney Lorcan comes into play, and then he gets the Brian Kendrick off and tries to go for his finisher, the half and half suplex, and that gets countered into another captain's hook. So Oney Lorcan is now in a submission hold. But nope, Mike Kanellis comes into play, rakes the eyes, takes control, and then Brian, he's ran into Oney Lorcan, who gives him a freaking uppercut, and then Mike delivers a super kick to freaking Oney Lorcan, covers him, nope, and then we get our first view of the champion looking on. By the way, wearing a Ali shirt. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, then we get an insane 6 or 8 different exchanges of chops between freaking Oney Lorcan and Mike Kanellis, and then it breaks down to a center ring exchange, which leads to, Mike Kanellis doing one hell of a spine buster, putting a cover on Oni. Nope, Oni kicks out. And then Mike, why do people do this? Insults Oney Lorcan while he's down, slowly brings him up, grabbing at his face, only for Oni to, what? Grab you by your beard and open palm chop you in the face. And you can clearly hear Mike going, ow, ow. That was freaking funny. Anyway, following that, we get a run-through blockbuster, one of Oney Lorcan's specials. And Oni controls the ring now. And then he pulls off the half and half on the Brian Kendrick. But he rolls out of the ring. Almost. Anyway, it saves enough time for Oni to cover the Brian Kendrick, but it gets broken up. And then Mike and Arya, they try and take advantage, once again forming their alliance, trying to take on Oni. And nope, that gets they basically get a double blockbuster, each a blockbuster for their troubles. And then Akira Tozawa, he tries to come into play. Only Lorcan, though, being aware, he ducks Akira and then goes flying over the top. So what does Akira do? He follows. He goes for a suicide headbutt dive, takes out everybody. Everybody's freaking down. Jesus. And anyway, following that, Akira, he takes advantage. He brings Arya into the ring, and he throws him a missile drop kick. And then we get a hammerlock lariat attempt, though, countered into a beautiful German suplex with a bridge, one of Akira Tozawa's staples, for a nice near fall kick out. And then following this, we get a freaking, well, I guess you could say exchange combination for, I don't even know. Everybody comes in. We get first an uppercut from, I believe, only Lorcan. And then we get a freaking kick by freaking Mike. And then a freaking super kick by freaking Arya Davari. And then Oni and Akira, they send Mike and D. Brian Kendrick crashing from the top rope in a vicious tower suplex spot where D. Brian Kendrick at the very top receives the worst of it. But who's on the other corner out of nowhere, just aware and tries to take advantage? Arya Davari with his freaking person splash. I did not see that coming. And he gets a nice near fall, but somehow Kendrick kicks out. How the hell he kicked out of that, I'll never know. Anyway, Akira, he finally clears the ring, and then he pulls up an iron arch, puts against his former enemy, Mike Kanellis, in the center of the ring. But who comes into play? Freaking Maria. By the way, nice shout out to Maria Kanellis, by the way, with the gear attributing to the recent passing of former WWE diva Ashley. Rest in peace, and God bless you and your family.
Yes, that was a great sign of respect for her friend.
Indeed. And I saw a thing about the fundraiser, too. If I had money, I would contribute. Anyway, following this, Maria distracts enough for Mike to capitalize and tries to get a quick limited roll-up. Nope, that kicks out by Arya, who breaks it up. And then we get a Shining Wizard kick. And then we get just relentless strikes to Arya Davari as Akira Tozawa is on the top rope. The crowd getting behind Akira Tozawa with the Haas. I think there was like 20-plus strikes to Arya's back. I don't freaking know. And then Mike comes into play, though. And then Akira and Mike are exchanging. Then they go to the apron. And this was pretty much the end, I think, of Mike Kanellis. As both are on the apron, Akira hits Mike with a freaking German suplex on the apron.
Yeah, that looked like that hurt bad.
That looked painful. He landed on his shoulder, too, and just flat on the floor. Maria, all she could do was watch, and she just stunned beyond belief. Anyway, following this, we get spinning roundhouse kick combination from Akira Tozawa, and then he finally, at the freaking fourth time, I think, hits the freaking top rope senton bomb into the cover. He's going to win. No. Broken up by his best friend, mentor, D. Brian Kendrick. He couldn't believe it. But D. Brian Kendrick, he explains, hey, possibly for a championship opportunity, man. You know that these wins matter here. And then it looks like they're about to, shake hands and then go at it. But Akira, he just goes straight in and tries to knock his teeth out. Following this, we get the crossbody for D. Brian Kendrick as Nice continues to watch on. Neither man can capitalize. And then we get roundhouse kick, attempted slide through for the Sayuda suplex Akira Tozawa does. But no, D. Brian Kendrick, he capitalizes on that and pulls off a slice bread number 2. Wicked move, by the way. But then Mike comes back into play. How the hell is he still standing? With a twisting face buster. I don't even know what they call that move. There's got to be a name for it. But then Only Lorcan comes into play with a freaking running uppercut. And then freaking Arya Davari comes into play with an insane hammerlock lariat that turned Only Lorcan inside out. I thought he was going to win. I thought that was it. But like you said, out of nowhere, Akira Tozawa comes in with a very unique way to finish the match that I think protected everybody and made everyone look strong, and even showed how far Akira Tozawa can be pushed to win. He doesn't have to rely simply on that top roll senton bomb. He capitalizes on the flurry and goes in for a rolling roll-up, and Akira Tozawa wins, shocked by all belief, rolls out to the floor, rolls out on top of the announcer table, completely shocked. Now just like, damn it. And freaking, he's just ecstatic beyond belief, shaking the hands of Aiden English and freaking Vic Joseph. As Nice looks on, and then D. Brian Kendrick embraces his friend and applauds him, and we go off the air. Holy freaking crap, what a match! See,
that was, like I said, it was a damn good match. And like I said, this is the one thing I will say I didn't think about till now. You said it. This is when sportsmanship actually kind of works to me in wrestling. Is after the match, like I said, they said they were friends for the match. They were competitive. Brian Kendrick did stop the count for Tozawa. to trying to win the match earlier on. Then they had their fight. But after the match was over, it was a nice change to see that sign of respect. It wasn't where you normally see it. Oh, well, you try to screw me out. No, you try to screw me. Oh, that's now we have a feud just because you try to screw each other in a match that you knew you were both in.
Exactly. And what's funny here is he pinned Arya Daivari, the guy that claims stakes that he's not done with Tony Nese. Well, I think he is now at this point. And Mike Kanellis, he still looks strong over in defeat. And I look at his Twitter, and he just ecstatic. He loves this brand. He loves this match.
Yep.
And you look at the Brian Kendrick, who only wants the best for his friend Akira Tozawa, it seems. And then only Lorgan just bringing the fury, as he's called, the Fury of 205 Live. Everybody looked incredibly strong in this match. Incredible performance by all. Kept the crowd invested and interested. This, in my opinion, is why these guys should have their own match at Money in the Bank for a freaking Money in the Bank case. To think they pulled this off, had a clean finish, had an amazing match, amazing chemistry, no ladders needed, no fucking Brock Lesnar. But I digress. And I can't wait to see where we go from here now. Absolutely amazing match. Loved everything about it. This should have been on friggin' Money in the Bank. And this is why 205 Live matters. You get action. You get main events like this, okay? Now, I got something to say. Virtue, you want to call me a mark? You want to talk about Sun? Okay, well, screw you. Kofi Kingston, WWE champion. Let's make him look like God. Dolph Ziggler beats the holy daylights out of him. He's supposed to leave on a stretcher, right? No, he just gets up. Oh, that's nothing. I'll see you all on Monday. Okay, let me talk about this. Drew Gulak, he attacks Ali. Mustafa Ali when he used to be on 205 Live. Before matches, ringing him around the ring post. He's friggin' carried out, not on his own power sometimes. He friggin' sells injuries, and they don't do a friggin' match right away, and he's not showing the rest of the night. Why don't you look at friggin' 205 Live and redefine your definition of selling? Sports entertainment, moment my ass versus matches. Get your facts straight. Oh, do your damn homework? Why don't you do some homework and open your mind on Raw and SmackDown Live? Oh, create a new superstar, don't know anybody? How about you look on somebody past Roman Reigns and try something different? I digress.
You feel better now?
Yeah, a little better. Yeah, I absolutely love this match. Okay, so breaking this episode, there was only 2 matches, but pretty much everybody on the roster, they kind of got their spotlight, except the Lucha House Party, but we'll get into more of that in a little bit. I enjoyed this Fatal 5-Way. I see many side stories coming out of it, and I also can see a potential Arya Daivari and Akira Tozawa feud now towards the title picture. But I feel like Akira Tozawa, he needed this win, especially with his reign, how it worked out. And I feel like him versus Tony Nese has got to be the way we're going forward, and I'm looking forward to that. But as far as this show goes, definitely a little more than average, in my opinion. As you saw the Singh Brothers showcase what they're capable of, too, and possibly another tag team forming. I really enjoyed this show. It's a 4 out of 5 for me. What about you?
I agree with you. It's a 4 out of 5 for me as well. Like I said, the Singh brothers in the opening match had one of the best performances I've seen them have ever in WWE so far. And like I said, I think that tag team of the gentlemen are, oh my God, now I was going to call him something completely else. So anyways, his tag team partner, that's not named Alberto. Yeah, I know. I butcher names sometimes, but it's all good. It's all in fun. But like I said, they look like they're a very strong tag team that's been working together for years. So I was very impressed with that. And that main event, one of the best Fatal 5-Ways I've seen ever. I've seen a few of them that have been complete clusterfucks, but for this one, they did this very well. And like I said, it wasn't the typical somebody hit a finisher to win. They made you where you were completely shocked how the ending came, and I liked it. So I'm going 4 out of 5.
Yeah, this wasn't like I'm just going to talk about it and be like, oh, there's a finisher. Roman Reigns matches. I mean,
Yep.
This was like you didn't know which way it was going to go, who was going to win, what the outcome was going to be, but it leaves you wanting more and wondering what's going to happen next. And this is why 205 Live matters. Simple as that. With that, let's go ahead and have some fun and get into some simple stances. So you and I, we had a little creative brainstorm session, and we thought about a few topics. You and I, we believe 205 Live matters 24/7. So let's go ahead and talk about that because that was rough on the show, the 24/7 title. So it looks like some of the cruiserweights have finally been showcased on television, and even Drake Maverick's joining in on the fun. There's 24/7 title that can be won anytime, anywhere, anytime, under any circumstance. It's currently held by R-Truth. And yet they even joked about R-Truth making a cameo on 205 Live. Imagine that. I'm pretty sure he's not under 205 pounds, though. So I have to ask you this, Chris. Drake Maverick trying to become 24/7 champion. Do you see that happening? And if so, what do you think would come from it that would be better for showcasing and exposing 205 Live.
Hey, I won't put nothing past Drake Maverick. I said he won the X Division title back in TNA when he was Rockstar Spud. He actually had a world title match against Kurt Angle.
Yes, he
Okay,
did.
I won't put nothing past him. As a wrestler, people might underestimate him, but he was actually a pretty good wrestler. You can't put nothing past him. So if he won it, okay, that'd be kind of interesting dynamic now. You're the general manager and you got the 24/7 title. The only hesitation I have with this 24/7 title being on every brand is I don't want it to become a joke on these shows like 205 Live, like NXT UK, where the wrestling is what tells the story. You have serious storylines. They keep going forward. The story progresses. I don't want it to become a joke of, okay, well, here's Drake Maverick. He's got a 24/7 title. Here's everybody from the main roster that's a jobber or lower card chasing after him everywhere during the middle of a great cruiserweight match, for example. Or if, say, for example, they have like Tony Nese versus Tazawa, for example, for the cruiserweight title. I don't want to see it where all of a sudden you cut to backstage because Drake Maverick's being chased around during a great match because he has a 24/7 title. That's the only hesitation with it.
I completely agree. In my opinion, this title does not need to be on NXT, NXT UK, or 205 Live. Now, if you're going to have superstars from 205 Live and other brands on Raw and SmackDown go after it, and you're trying to make more engaging television or be like, who's this person? Then yeah, that I can understand. But this title is literally a joke. And it does not belong in a real wrestling show or a real competitive wrestling bout, nor interrupted. I can understand it interrupting Carmella and Tyler's wet dream, freaking Mandy Rose, but that's SmackDown Live, a more wrestling-focused show, but it's still split entertainment. And honestly, no one cared about that damn match. It was all about R-Truth pulling off Carmella and wearing a brawl, and then running away with that stinking title, which I believe he still has at this point.
Anyway. His European Championship, as he posted about his European title.
European Championship.
The only way I like it being that dynamic, him calling it the European title, is if somebody like a Devlin, for example, from UK or NXT UK, showed up just out of blue, won the title, haul butt, flew all the way back to NXT UK to the UK, and remade that title into the European title. That's the only way I would like to see somebody from either 205 Live, NXT, or NXT UK go after that title and bring it and turn it into the European title. That's a different show. I'll discuss that at a different time.
Well, it is green and gold, so it makes sense for Jordan Devlin to have it. But I digress. All right, let's move on from that joke and have a little bit of a booking here. So we already talked about the Cruiserweight title match at Money in the Bank. But let's talk about the Cruiserweight title picture based on the Fatal 5-Way. Akira Tozawa, he won. Opportunities are earned, not given. But it's not like one match makes the opportunity. Akira Tozawa, he's been wanting this for a while. He's been hungry for it. He's been going at this for a while. He's now gotten through the feud with Mike Kanellis, and he won this Fatal 5-Way. In my opinion, he has nothing but momentum going forward. I feel like he still has one more match, though, to prove to Drake Maverick, okay, you are a valid candidate for the Cruiserweight title. So, Chris, what do you believe Akira Tozawa needs to do next to earn a Cruiserweight Championship opportunity? And against who?
I feel like now he earned it, honestly, in this Fatal 5-Way. I feel like he's already earned the right to challenge Tony Nese. But if we're thinking about somebody he needs to wrestle, I can see in storyline where here's Daivari, he's still whining, complaining, and going around it. But I can see a storyline where Drake Maverick said, all right, Tozawa, you won the Fatal 5-Way, you're the number one contender, and here's Daivari saying, whining and complaining about it because he's like, it was a fluke, I lost. And then Tozawa, being a man of honor and everything, going, he'll put it up. Then him and Daivari face each other, and whoever wins that match will face Tony Nese. And then hopefully at that point, Tozawa would win. That's the only thing I can see logically because he won the match against everybody else I'd put him in. The only storyline that makes sense to me is Daivari going in there, being a heel, complaining and whining and complaining about what happened.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, the whole heel versus face dynamic, and the fact he did roll up, keyword roll up, not definitively, because I can say, like, you didn't beat me, you got lucky. So I can see that happening, but it also wouldn't surprise me if he did like stomping ground type match against his friend / mentor, the Brian Kendrick. Really proving if he's ready or not, because I could see them pulling off something like that. About found on respect to really see Akira Tozawa, are you ready for this? I can see both of those happening, actually. But if I were to pick one, I think you kind of got me there with the Ari Daivari one, because I don't think he and Ari Daivari have had a real competitive one-on-one bout yet.
No, I don't think they have either. Not to my recollection.
No, I'll have to look that up in case they do. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about Mike Kanellis. So Mike Kanellis, he's pretty much been, I think, in a feud now with everybody. But he loves this brand. He loves what he does. And he feels like that this show has reinvigorated his passion for wrestling. I was recently looking at an interview he gave on 411 Mania about his return to WWE, his run in the main roster, and then going to 205 Live, and how 205 Live has reignited and redefined him. And then I look at his Twitter, and he says the following. He says that basically he loves the fact that he gets to enjoy pro wrestling again. Being on 205 Live has reinvigorated him. He's felt the best he's ever felt before. Every match is an opportunity to prove that he is one of the best in the world. He loves being the underdog on the Underdog Show. Now, I think that speaks major values because, in theory, when you look at the WWE business portfolio, 205 Live is probably the undercard show because it's the one they least mention outside 205 Live itself. So I want to get your thoughts on this, the perspective of underdog. Would you consider 205 Live the underdog show?
No.
Simple as that.
I mean, no, I don't see it being an underdog show. I see it being an opportunity for wrestlers to go to a show, be on their own brand, get more exposure, have the good quality matches they've been having, be on a brand that tells good stories, and be able to establish themselves and prove themselves. And that's what I look at. I don't see it as this demotion if you're in 205. I don't see it as demotion if you're in NXT or whatever. I see it as more of a demotion if you get put up to the main roster with a lot of the bad storytelling they've been doing as of late. But I can digress about that. But the point is, I don't see 205 Live being some I don't know how to put it at this point, some downgraded show. If you're on 205 Live, you're beneath everybody else. Because I tell you what, you can put any of those 205 wrestlers against anybody on the main roster, and they'll pull off a damn good match if given the opportunity.
Absolutely agree, which definitely goes into our next topic, which I think is very fitting, Ali's impact. So Mustafa Ali, he was called up from 205 Live, and yet somehow right now he has been showcased incredibly on SmackDown Live, the wrestling show, having one-on-one bouts and tag bouts alongside Daniel Bryan, Finn Balor, and most recently, Andrade. He and Andrade created magic both at Money in the Bank and Tuesday nights on SmackDown Live. So what are your overall thoughts right now on Mustafa Ali? What do you see his direction going on SmackDown Live? Is he going to be pushed toward the title? Is he being used to put over somebody else? And do you think he's being used to the fullest of his capability?
I think he got derailed when he got injured. I honestly believe he would have been, and where Kofi took his spot, I think he would have been the one that was last eliminated by Daniel Bryan in Elimination Chamber. Now, do I see Ali getting the push like Kofi ended up doing because of all the fans reacting? It could have been possible. I think a lot of people could have got behind Ali if he had that kind of performance like Kofi did at Elimination Chamber. I think he could have had that kind of performance that people got behind him, and he may have easily been pushed into the title picture of WrestleMania, and it may have easily been him winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania against Daniel Bryan. But that's a bunch of what ifs now because of the fact he did get injured. I think that really did hurt him a lot with that. Now he came back. He's been looking good. He is an incredible athlete. He is one of the standouts that came from 205 Live to me so far. He was inches away from winning that Money Bank briefcase, inches away. You thought for sure, finally, a 205 Live star is getting his opportunity. He's going to show everybody that people from 205 Live can make a big impact on the main roster. And here comes fucking Brock Lesnar. What the fuck? That just kind of ruined that. But I see him in the future. If Andrade wins that Intercontinental title from the Demon Ben Balor, or when he does eventually win the Intercontinental Championship, whenever he does, I could see him and Ali having a great feud for the IC title, with Ali eventually winning the Intercontinental Championship. because people like Ali and Andrade, Aleister Black, and a few others, they can make that Intercontinental title mean being the workhorse title again, because for a long time it's lost its luster being the workhorse title.
Absolutely. The IC title was used to springboard you to the W Championship. It was kind of like your way to earn an opportunity versus given. No discredit to Kofi, of course, with them your veteran, but I feel like it's more New Day that's WWE champ than Kofi Kingston. But I'll save that for another group of people. And to go back to one other thing, 205 Live is a full-length brand. It's not developmental. It's not prison. It's not underdog. It is a one-of-a-kind, unique brand that offers wrestlers an opportunity to wrestle and enjoy it, not just show up in catering and be like, okay, I'm getting paid, but I hate my job. AEW effect. Anyway, yeah, and I agree. Ali, he's definitely had the most impact, on the friggin' main roster since coming up from 205 Live. Sad to say. Which leads me to wonder, what the heck are they doing with Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy? Buddy Murphy gets to showcase on TV. Cedric Alexander, he's going after the 24/7 title? What?
That's a big downgrade for Cedric Alexander, as talented as he was on 205 Live. For him, like I said, to have him lose to Cesaro, and then now he's chasing after 24/7. And like I said, and Buddy Murphy. Okay, I've seen him on an exclusive clip for SmackDown on YouTube on SmackDown so far. That's it.
Yeah, period. You might as well send them both back to 205 Live, because 205 Live, they need like those juggernauts and those heavyweights that are just at that limit, in my opinion. Because Buddy Murphy, Cedric Alexander, they carry the brand, and these guys, they're trying to create a new star, but I don't know. I just got weird feelings about how they're using the 205 Live people that they aren't versus the single person they seem to be doing. Cedric Alexander might as well go back to friggin' NXT and feud with Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, exactly. Or feud with Velveteen Dream, or could have some great feuds in NXT, and he could be able to showcase, just like he did on 205 Live, his wrestling ability, not have this one bullshit match he had with Cesaro, and him running around like a goober trying to chase the 24/7 title.
And the thing, Cesaro is one of those guys that I believe should be a friggin' champion right now. And they're never going to push him, it seems, to that potential. And he and Cedric could have had a real classic if Raw gave him the time. But Raw doesn't know how to put on a good wrestling match. It's supposed to be entertaining. I'm not really entertained except for one thing. But again, I'm not part of the elite. I'm just a fan. And a mark. Deal with it, Virtue. At least I know what selling means. Why don't you tell Kofi that? But anyway. Okay. So going from there, let's talk about Lucha House Party. So LARS and Lucha House Party. Does it help or does it hurt? Lucha House Party, they're still being showcased, used on Raw technically, but they're also 205 Live wrestlers, superstars. Now, due to all this crap they're doing with LARS, they couldn't wrestle on 205 Live. And they're very good wrestlers. So the Lars Sullivan thing, is this really the first thing they're doing? Are they putting Lars over by just beating up three men that are tiny and are like a third of his size? They haven't even put him in a 3-on-1 handicap match yet, and I feel like that's going to be the closing angle. So, Chris, I pose it to you. What do you see being the outcome of Lucha House Party versus Lars, and should it already stop?
I don't understand it. I don't understand. They teased the match at Money in the Bank, an unannounced match with the Lucha House Party coming out. And you were like going, okay, well, they're going to fight the Singh brothers, and it's going to be a special match they haven't announced, and what's going on with that? Just to have Lars Sullivan come out and just pretty much destroy him. Looked like Lars busted his head open on Kalisto's head at Money in the Bank. Then the next day, but I did like, the only thing is that I have to say is kind of a positive. I do like the storytelling the next night where they're doing an interview with Lars Sullivan. Okay, well, if you got beat up one night, wouldn't you want to try to get your payback? Okay, he's in the ring. He's not going to jump you from behind. I do like how Lucha House Party did come out trying to stand their ground. They got a little offense in. They didn't get completely destroyed. They got a little bit of offense in. Yeah, they got beat down a little bit too, but they got a little bit of offense in. They got to try to get some kind of retaliation. Unfortunately, I see them trying to book some 3-on-1 handicap match, and Lars just end up destroying them.
Yeah.
That doesn't say anything or help anything for 205 Live. Like I said, I don't see them at a 3-on-1 handicap match getting a fluke win unless they were CM Punk and they get a win again 3-on-1 against the Shield. But I just don't see it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it goes back basically to what Vince McMahon is doing. He's destroying character and stories that Triple H has worked on for months and years just for what? Friggin' public appeal and just to prove that his way is right? Yeah, you already blew that with DIY, but I digress. All
Yeah.
right. So, main event tonight. So I was discussing this with somebody in the comments section for one of the recent prediction videos went bank. I forget his name. I have to look it up. And he was talking about basically how 205 was not necessarily always the cruiserweight limit. At one point, it was like 215 or 225, as you mentioned. And he posed the question, do you believe that 205 Live should evolve to include a higher weight class, like 215, for example? I kind of agree because I was looking at some superstar weights and I'm like, okay, so you guys think 205 Live is lacking star power. Well, think about this. Certain superstars that you see on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, they're over 205, but not by much. Some of them are in the 210 to 220 pound range or 210, 215 to 225. And I find it much easier to lose maybe 5 pounds versus 10 and keeping it off. I mean, Buddy Murphy, he did his best to stay at 205. He was never under. He was literally at 205, period.
Right.
Pete Dunne, he's at 205, but Pete Dunne, I don't see him leaving NXT UK, like I said earlier. But I'm thinking about some superstars I mentioned, like Roderick Strong and Seth Rollins even. I could definitely see that being a potential evolvement of Cruiserweight wrestling on the main roster and the 205 Live roster in general. So, Chris, my question to you is this. If you were to rewrite the brand 205 to be a different weight, what weight would you choose and why? Because of what superstar?
That's a good question. You could do the original cruiserweight title in WCW was 225 and under. They kept that rule in WWE's version of the cruiserweight title because they had the storyline with Matt Hardy. He was having to get to right at 225 under when he challenged and won the cruiserweight title.
Correct.
I remember that storyline very well because I was like, he's still too heavy to win, but they said he was right at 225. But same thing as well. When Christian won the light heavyweight title, he was right at 215. They said, and they claimed at that time during that storytelling that it was 215 and under for the light heavyweight title. So thinking about both, it's like, okay, well, first off, if you start making the weight limit at 225, first off, you can't really call it 205 Live when you're going to have the weight limit be up to 225. I don't want you to change the name of the show. You've already built your brand based on that.
Right.
However, could you introduce a secondary title to give these guys something else to challenge for? Could you bring back the variation of the light heavyweight title that WWF had? Could you bring back the earlier version of the WCW and WWE's version of the Cruiserweight title with all that lineage and heritage it has? A lot good, some bad. We won't mention names. Medusa holding the title and Jacqueline holding the title and different people that should. Hornswoggle. And a few of them that should have never held the title. Oklahoma. There's quite a few that should have never held that title.
You're just hurting my wrestling mentality.
But you gotta always remember the good history and the bad history when you're telling the story of the Cruiserweights division, old history. You gotta remember the good and the bad. They had both.
Yep.
But I would say if you do something like that, bring a secondary title, reintroduce the light heavyweight title, or reintroduce a different version of the Cruiserweight title. You don't have to necessarily call it that, and make it where the weight limit is 225 and under. Have something else for them to do. Make it like, oh God, Sydney's going to kill me because I've been watching New Japan too. The never open weight title. That's a good concept. They could have a secondary title calling it the never open weight title and have different people go to 205 Live that are just a little bit over that limit and still have great quality matches. They could create a secondary title without having to change the name 205 Live because you already have a show name that you already have branded, you already have established. If you try to change the weight limit, then to me, you would have to change the name of the show, and I don't think you'd want to do that when you've already have an established brand with 205 Live as the name. So that would be my suggestion, is creating a secondary title, doing what New Japan does, having a never open weight championship be a secondary title, and then you could have guys that are a little bit heavier, like 215, 225, be on 205 Live and challenging for that title. Not necessarily being able to challenge for the actual Cruiserweight title because they're not at 205 or below, but that also gives them something to do and actually could be more storytelling and something else for them to do if you're not going to have the tag titles. Boy, that was a really hard question to think about an answer on the fly.
Well, I try to bring up a little bit of creative challenges, you know. And that's what I was kind of thinking too, because again, I watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, and they do have that never open weight. That's not really defined by weight, but it gives people something else to do. And it's inter promotion. So imagine if they did something like this in 205 Live Superstars, they mixed it up with some slightly heavier superstars in NXT, NXT UK, Raw, and SmackDown Live. Then you don't necessarily have to interject the fact that the Cruiserweight division is only Raw property, even though they don't use them on Raw at all. You could basically make it more widespread. Maybe that should have been the actual title they should have introduced on Monday night. I'm just saying, but I would like to see people mix it up. Like, okay, you got Cedric Alexander on Monday Night Raw, but you're not doing nothing with him, yet you gave him like a nice little tease showcase with Cesaro. So why not do that again with a never open weight type title or light cruiserweight or heavyweight title? Like you said, because it's not like they're doing much with most of the mid card. I mean, let's think about this. No Chad Gable, no Shinsuke Nakamura, no Robert Roode, no Noe Jose, no Mojo Rawley. And yes, those are jobbers, but they're your employees. So why don't you show them a little bit more respect and show them for their athletic capability? Because some of them actually do have athletic capabilities. If you don't care about tag teams, I think Dash Dawson and Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, apologies, Tyler, for butchering their names at first, even as separate people, they could possibly go after that title themselves. Introduce something that allows 205 Live superstars to mingle more with actual other superstars. Because 205 Live isn't exclusive to itself, or at least it shouldn't be. It should be more interjoined with the others. That's how you build superstars and make people care, and that's how you bring more of a higher morale and excitement to your friggin' product, Vince McMahon. But I digress.
And like I said, doing it that way too, like you got to think, Rey Mysterio, when he was Cruiserweight champion, he also held the WCW Tag Team Championship. He
Yeah.
held other titles as well. Now, in WWE, he mainly held that Cruiserweight title for a period of time along with the tag team titles, but eventually he was able to elevate himself up. I'm hoping that with Ali and others that come in from 205 Live, if they get to the main roster, they get elevated to that push like Rey Mysterio. Because look how successful Rey Mysterio has become getting out of that cruiserweight division, and look at all the success he's had. I
Right.
want to see another breakout star come out of that cruiserweight division, that 205 Live matters, and get to that top spot and get to that main championship and win that WWE championship. And they can show everybody and they can tell their story of how they were in 205 Live matters, and look how far they've come from 205 Ladders to being the WWE champion.
Well, right now, I think our biggest example of that is Ali, and I'm honestly hoping for the best for him because it looks like right now, out of the three that have been pulled out 205 Live, they're giving him the most actual chance.
Yes.
Though I think losing to Andrade, Andrade losing to him based on their other show they got coming up is devaluing him. So there has to be a balance there too. But at least Ali is being used and showcased for his talents and his heart. So Ali, keep up the good work. Buddy, Cedric, I pray the best for you. All right.
Yep.
Well, I think that has been another stellar edition and quite a discussion on this week's 205 Live Matter. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us for this discussion. Before we do our plugs, let me just say this. Virtue, you're a mark, I'm a mark, deal with it, we're different marks. I look forward to your review. I understand selling to an extent. There's a difference between selling in matches and selling in moments, and that's where you and I differ. Stay tuned, folks, for the No DQ review. I'm sure he'll talk about more of this too. He doesn't care about this, but whatever. I still care about No DQ. But I digress. Support No DQ. Anyway, Chris, thank you so much once again for joining me. It's always a pleasure discussing this with you. Where can people find you? What would you like to plug tonight?
I say you can follow me on Facebook at Chris Mace, support Aftermatch Wrestling, support your channel, support Colin Andrews' channel, Chopping Block, support everything Cindy does, Owen, James, support NoDQ.com. And one thing I want to say to Virtue real quick on here, Virtue, like I said, you're a very entertaining person. You're very straightforward. I got all the respect for you. I still remember when you got suspended from No DQ for 60 days, and I paid that money to get you unsuspended. That was me who paid that because I have all the respect in the world for you. I said, you bring out the most controversy out of people, and like I said, you will get people fired up and worked up, and I am waiting for the day you actually get on a debate show again and debate with people like Noah and different people. about these topics. And I would love to see a debate between you and Noah on 205 Live Matters on Virtue's Rage or on 205 Live Matters one day. That I would love to sit back and watch that debate about this. But other than that, like I said, let's everybody respect each other's opinions about wrestling. We all love it. We all hate it at times. But you know what? Let's just respect each other's opinions because whether or not we're all watching it together, and simple as that, as you would say, Noah.
Way to put me on the spot there, too. I need a good...
sorry. We'll talk about it next time in future reference.
I mean, he is the No DQ undisputed debate champion, but that's because he hasn't had anybody to challenge him in a debate yet. I don't know if I'm up that par yet. I mean, that's like a Rocky story waiting to happen. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Virtue, all the best to you. For those of you, again, thank you, Chris. I'm all frazzled. What is it? Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Chris. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know more about me, as always, and for newcomers, know this. I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. So if you want to follow me and talk anything wrestling, Cruiserweight Division and beyond, WWE, New Japan, AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact, Independent Wrestling, support local independent wrestling folks, and everything else in between, you can look me up, follow me, talk to me at nodq.com/Noah. That takes you to my Twitter page, or just follow my civil YouTube channel here where I do predictions for previews outside WWE. I have quite a wrestling agenda to still get through. And you can find that here at youtube.com/users/Noah Foster 210. I also want to pose this, I don't think I do, but I feel like it's self-explanatory. But let me say this. If you want to be part of 205 Matters or have a topic we think we should discuss or want to counter comment on a topic we did discuss, please leave something and let us know, either here in this video, in the comments down below. Like, share, retweet, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Love to hear from you. Love to get your retrospective. Love for you to challenge our thoughts. I'm not afraid of controversy. That's why I embrace the critics, the haters, the gatherers, you name it. Everybody just grows me. I've been judged my whole life. I took on this because I believe in something most people don't. And until it dies, I will continue doing this. Simple as that. But anyway, I've rambled on enough, so let me just close with this. Support local wrestling house for big and small. Let's keep growing this wrestling community together. Simple as that. Support NoDQ.com. Follow NoDQ.com here on YouTube and all your social media platforms. Go buy a shirt. Simple as that. NoDQ.com/shirts. And with that, stay tuned, of course, where I'll be doing predictions for my NoDQ NXT Championship during the week of NXT TakeOver 25, challenging this man and the rest of Team NoDQ in general. We got a hell of a card ahead of us, and I will be live streaming, live reacting to NXT TakeOver 25 right here on YouTube like I did for Money in the Bank. So with that, enjoy the next NoDQ review. Virtue, all the best to the saltiness of you. Enjoy your night. Enjoy life. Enjoy wrestling, folks. And until next time, have a good night.
All right, have a good night, y'all.
And 205 Live will always matter to me. Simple.
Amen.
Like that. Bye, everybody.